If I tell you to make a list of the major religions of the world, will Buddhism and Jainism make the cut? Well, they should, because Buddhism is followed by more than 535 million people across the globe. In fact, it is the fourth largest religion in the whole world, whereas Jainism is followed by 7 million people across the world. So these are pretty important, but what makes them important enough to study? Well, you'd be surprised to know that both Buddhism and Jainism started right here in India more than 2500 years ago. They both filtered out of Hinduism, and their tenets will lead you to believe or can help you see the society that was there back then. Its simple doctrines and rules and regulations attracted a lot of people. So now let's see what the reasons were behind the rise of these religions. Imagine that you get a time machine, and using that time machine you go back to the 6th century BCE. Once you reach this civilization, you notice that everything here is different. People are using horse chariots to travel. And you also see that there are no roads or buildings or even cars. In fact, there are no properly built houses. There are such huts and huge palaces. You also observe that the people in this civilization are identified not based on their names or qualifications. In fact, they are identified according to the caste system. You see a few farmers. These are the Vaishyas. Some heavily armored people. These are the Kshatriyas. Some people are also wearing saffron clothes. They are the Brahmins. And the people wearing soiled clothes during the menial work, they are the Shudras. And this was the caste system. You also see that people in this civilization are treated unequally. In fact, everyone bows down to the Brahmins. They are considered the most important people, whereas the lower two castes bow down to the Kshatriyas. Meanwhile, these lower caste people are exploited by the upper caste people. So you realize that these people are not happy. No one is happy in the society, and they do not have rights like we do in our society today. In fact, the Shudras get treated the worst. These are the people who have to do all the menial works. You also see Brahmins performing huge ceremonies. These are a grand affair, don't you think? These look really expensive too. And Shudras were not allowed in such ceremonies. You also see many people chanting mantras and throwing ghee into the fire. You also observe several animals. These animals are going to be sacrificed in the name of God and are going to be offered to God. This is definitely not a pleasant sight to behold. So you get very disappointed and sit in your time machine and come back to the 21st century. So we just talked about the caste system. So you see, during the early Vedic age, this caste system was very much flexible. It was based on one's profession, and so one could easily change their caste. However, during the later Vedic age, what had happened? That this caste system had become very much rigid, and a Brahmin's son would be a Brahmin, whereas a Shudra's son could only be a Shudra. He could no longer change his profession and simultaneously change his caste. Now, because of all of this, what happened is that the lower caste people felt very much exploited. Other than that, during that point of time, complex and expensive rituals and ceremonies were taking place in the society. Because of all of this, the importance of Brahmins also rose in the society, right? Take a look at this picture here. This is in fact the Rajasuya Yajna, which is there in Mahabharata, which is another Vedic text. From this picture, what can we understand? We can understand this looks like a grand affair. This looks like so many people are there, so it must be a really expensive thing. So in such ceremonies, the Shudras were often excluded. So the lower caste people felt further away from their gods, and they were not very happy with it. Other than that, there is another yajna known as the Ashwamedha Yajna that was done by the rich people back then. Let us see what that was about. From the Yajurveda, we get to see this tradition or ritual which involves a king and his white horse. So the king leaves his white horse to randomly wander around enemy territories, right? So if the horse wanders around and the enemy king lets him wander, then that land becomes the king's. But if he is stopped, then there is a fight between both of the kings, and the sacrifice of the horse marks the end of the ritual. So from the Yajurveda, we get to learn about this ritual which is called the Ashwamedha Yajna, and we get to see how the kings were performing such complex and elaborate rituals in that time. So now, During the later Vedic age, what was happening is that people were talking in two different languages. The upper caste people, the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, they were using Sanskrit to communicate. Sanskrit was also the language that was there in the Vedas. So all the Vedas and all the religious texts in Hinduism were written in Sanskrit. So the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas had easy access to this. However, the lower caste people, the common people of that time, they were talking in Pali or Prakrit, and so they could not get easy access to their own religious texts, so they felt further away from their God. So now at this point of time, two new spiritual teachers came in and they completely rejected Hinduism and its several rules, the caste system, the complex rituals and ceremonies. So because of all of this, the common people were instantly attracted towards their teachings. Other than that, these people, Gautama Buddha and Vardhamana Mahavira, they were preaching in the common people's language, which was Prakrit or Pali. And because of this, a lot of people were instantly attracted towards their teachings. So now a new religion was inspired by Gautama Buddha's teaching. This religion was known as Buddhism, whereas from Vardhamana Mahavira's teachings, Jainism was founded. So now let's go on and learn more about these two religions and these two people in detail. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free on DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app and get easy access to more than 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million+ questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and get a chance to win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.